All right, let's kick this off.
All right.
It's Lord of the Rings maps.
Joke me like you hate me.
But you like me, low key, want to date me. When you start the podcast,
No.
hi,
Singing somebody
we're
else's
redirected. And we sing music sometimes. Not very good, but sometimes. And we may have musicians like this guy, Andrew. But we also have real musicians and real men like Jason. And then there's me.
What?
I'm on your hand. Everyone in the world, look down. There's a finger on your hand, right?
There's 5 of you. Per hand.
There's 10 total. And that means there's more of me in the world than there are people. So, yeah. This week, let me pull up my handy dandy Word document. We're talking about a couple things.
We lost.
Like TV shows,
We lost Andrew.
movie trailers, and Resident Evil franchise. So join us.
Do we get to talk about Bad Batch? I want to talk about
A little
Bad
bit,
Batch.
yeah, because Kevin's got it.
Yeah.
So I guess, we talked about Bad Batch at the beginning of last week, kind of. I mean, the thumbnail was that. So we'll talk about Resident Evil for a little bit, because there's not a lot to talk about, but there's some stuff to talk about.
We're not talking what you want to talk about.
What? Check that I want to step on me?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
We're not
She's not
what
that
you
bad
want
in the
to talk
game, though. Like, she's...
Lady D!
Yeah, Andrew's been playing the game.
She is absolutely terrifying.
Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely terrifying. She is
Gorgeous.
like the... I don't know how to describe it.
Listen,
She's
just
the worst
because
enemy I've ever
you
had to
got
run from.
chased by her and Ethan had to get some more hand things done.
She is so loud in your ears.
Yeah? Okay.
Every time she swipes at you, you can hear it behind you. And since these headphones have surround sound, it's so bad. It feels like it's actually behind me.
Don't let him lie to you, Jason. It's so good. Everything about it's so good.
Oh, it's good.
It's
definitely a lot better than 7 from what I played.
Kevin's already beaten it like 3 times now. He's not here this week to talk about it, but
it's because it's Kevin.
Yeah, well, he's beaten on the hardest difficulty. He's beaten it on like I don't know. He has there's apparently when you beat the game, you get like a lightsaber that's Darth Maul's saber as like an Easter egg. Stuff. It's kind of cool. There's a lot more to this game than I think 7, but there's like a lot less, I guess. I don't know.
It took a lot of it from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
mercenary mode was in 4.
Yeah, which 4, like I said, is like considered the best one.
That's the replayability option, really, because it gets you better gear and better weapons to play through the story again.
Yeah. Have you played a Resident Evil game, Jason?
No.
No? Have you watched the movies?
I need to do that. Hey, the new one's coming out.
Which ones are Resident Evil?
Was it Angelina Jolie?
Oh, hell no.
No.
It was
Don't give me the actresses, give me plot. Give me main bad guys.
The Umbrella Association.
Okay, yes, I've watched some of those.
With
they're not an association, they're a corporation.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched some of them.
One of my favorite movie series. It's one of the only ones that I've wanted to buy them all because it's so good. But yeah, you got it. It's like $30 for the whole collection. It is a really good movie. It's not like super based on the games, but it's loosely based off the games. And I know that Lady D, her model, like her face and everything, was actually
Wait. Is that actually her name?
Yes.
Lady Dimitrescu.
Her name's Cassandra. Or Alicia, sorry. Alicia Dimitrescu.
Okay.
Yeah, she belongs
nobody in the game, in the actual game or the movie, refers to her as Lady D.
No, that's what everyone started calling her. I started calling her that before I saw people say that.
As long as it's just the fans calling her that, that's fine.
But her face is actually modeled.
There are reasons that we won't mention as to why that is hilarious.
But the actual game, character's face is modeled after the stunt double for the main chick from the movies. So, like, it's not like exactly the same chick, but it's like close enough because stunt doubles.
As I'm looking after her now, not really.
Who? Lady D?
Yeah, I'm looking at the main character from movies.
Yeah, but the stunt double, they don't need to have the same face. They just need to be able to wear a wig and take a hit.
The whole Blu-ray collection is $50 for all 9 movies.
Aftermath, I think, is the most recent one. That one's not as good, but I liked it. It's kind of like the Mad Max series is the best way to think about it. Like, you gotta, like, I don't know. They're crazy.
You gotta watch the new one coming out. The
Resident
reboot.
Evil? I don't know. It's not. The first one was like in the 90s.
Are you good?
What's up, Knockoff Corpse?
I was trying to look up who you guys are talking about, who they modeled everything after, and apparently the way I typed it in, I just got a bunch of pictures of Princess Diana. Diana. I just got a bunch of pictures of Princess Diana.
No.
Yeah, that. All I could say is the people in that game, like, I don't know if, like, I guess it's not really anything new, but I think ever since 7, I think they have a hand fetish. Someone out there has a hand fetish, and they like scarred hands. Because all that happened in this game is Ethan just got, like, his hands destroyed. You good, Andrew?
No.
What you doing?
I'm looking on Amazon, dude.
Why?
Sure.
Because now I want this.
They're on Amazon.
I haven't seen a single one. I've seen parts of them, but I've never watched all of them through.
You also haven't watched Blade.
That's literally that's on this list. The Blade trilogy is literally the next thing now.
It's the same time when another series that came out around the first movie was Underworld.
That's also on there too.
Yeah, they all came around the same time, and they're all
frequently bought together. Is literally every single one of those.
Yeah, because they came around the same time, and they're kind of the same genre in a way. I mean, zombies, vampires, and Underworld was werewolves.
Those are the two series that I could never, like, my brain never differentiated the names. So, like, every time you talk about one or the other, my brain just goes, which one is that?
What, for Underworld and Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blade stands out on its own because it's Blade, but
you can get all the Resident Evil movies, all the Underworlds, and all 3 of the Blades for $68, all on Blu-ray.
Blade should be worth more.
Pretty good.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't like fully watched the Underworld series. I've watched bits and pieces of.
I liked Rise of the Lycan, and that was pretty much it.
I thought they only made 3.
They did.
Okay, so cool. Blade's a weird trilogy. It got weirder towards the end. I never watched
Blade.
Oh, it's Wesley Snipes, I think, was the main guy. It's so good.
Never watched it.
Now there's Andrew, so I guess
I know it's
only
I know Blade 3. I know Trinity is pretty much just the dawn of Deadpool.
Yes, pretty much. Which is funny because like Blade and Deadpool have a lot of crossovers in the comics, so like they're not friends, but they're friends, so it's like weird.
Well, you want origins for Deadpool? Give me that origin over origin any day.
But speaking of which, Venom 2 had their trailer today. Let There Be Carnage. It came out. Woody Harrelson is Carnage. He was Carnage at the end of the first movie, but it looks pretty good actually.
So I never saw the first one.
Double Tap.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Double Tap.
Double Tap was good. They're good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's on Prime.
I don't have Prime.
I don't want to watch his movies. I still haven't watched Hamilton, so I can't say
somehow you poor people are paying for Amazon Prime, and I'm not.
Look, I did that on complete accident. I wasn't going to. A complete accident. I was not trying to do that.
I pay for Disney and use Netflix from somebody else who uses my
That's
Disney.
what I was doing. I didn't want to pay Prime for a year, and then I accidentally paid Prime for a year,
which is actually pretty cheap.
Look, I feel like I'm in pain right now because I just signed up for Audible. Like I haven't even paid my first paid month yet, and I already feel because I have to pay. Just like,
how's you gonna listen to the Twilight series on there?
No.
Why not?
Harry Potter series?
Huh?
Harry Potter?
It's actually what I'm listening to. I just
one
finished
you
book
on?
3.
Okay.
Hey, another good series you should listen to is Percy Jackson.
Oh, I'm gonna listen all the way through the Potter series and then back over.
Yeah, do Percy Jackson though at some point because it's a. I've never listened to the Audible version of it, but I think they like did some cool voices here and there on it. So,
see, the sad thing is I used to own the Harry Potter series in book, like in hardback book.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say I don't have the hardback, but I have the actual.
I never finished them because dyslexia, and it was really difficult. I think I finished 1 and got part way through 2, and so like I think I was watching a video on YouTube. What was it? Oh, I was watching Super Carlin Brothers. If you know who those are.
Nope.
Who they are. But they were doing videos about Harry Potter and about theories and all that. And they had a commercial for Audible. They were sponsored by Audible. So I'm like, I'll take a free month on Audible. Go check it out. Re-listen to the books.
Now I'm paying for it.
Well, I mean, a free month on Audible is still like I've still bought 2 books. Like,
yeah, because
I ended up with the 1 free book for my first month, and then I've bought 2 books.
I think I bought 2 books.
About to buy a third.
I think I bought 2 books. I used Audible for a couple weeks, and I bought 2 books on there as well. Ended up never listening to them.
I have to actually read.
Your fault.
I can't have someone tell me the words.
So how do you listen to music?
With music,
It's not really they tell you the words.
Have you ever listened to an ebook?
Yeah, made us do it during school.
Nah, an ebook. Different than like the teacher pulling out a cassette tape and putting it inside the thing and listening to it in class.
Yeah. They probably had a terrible reader, a boring reader.
No.
When in school.
When we read God, I forget the name of it always. The Odyssey. When we read the Odyssey, the cassette tape we had for that was like so cool because like the dude did like they had a bunch of other voice actors do it. I think they did like a table read version of it. They sat down at a table and everyone read their parts and stuff because it's set up like a play almost. Not really, but kind of. And it was really cool. Beowulf, we had to read out loud. That was annoying. I don't like reading out loud in school.
Beowulf.
We actually had to a couple kids like raise their hands to be like the play version of it on stage. And I remember one kid was like, he said, but he said,
that's what he said.
He said, but.
He said, but hard.
Very funny.
And all of us lost it, and the teacher lost it too. And like he was so sassy about everything. Like he was like this big jock dude, and he's like, "It's but hard." And then he starts going off, and I'm like, "What the heck's happening in this class?" And like they got a plunger and stabbed him with it, and he fell to the ground. And he's like, "This too is hard." And the teacher goes, "That's not in the script." He goes, "I know." It's such a dumb class. AP history or English, woo, yay. It's pretty butt hard though.
So we had to actually act out the Odyssey all the way through.
That sucks.
We were given parts individually. We had to go in front of the class and reenact everything.
Did you read? I think Jason read it. Yeah, we talked about it. But have you read Tuck Everlasting, Andrew?
Nope.
I don't know if Jason has my copy or not. I think Jason has that. And
you also have your copy of Tuck Everlasting.
You have that and 5 People You Meet in Heaven too, by Mitch Albom.
You might want to come find them. I don't know where they are.
Yeah, those 2 books are like my go-tos to tell people to read. My dad read the 5 People book, and he was like, "Whoa." He goes,
I can't wait to actually set up my book.
I loved Tuck Everlasting as a kid.
Such a good book.
It was really good.
I read that book twice in school because 2 different grades made us, and then I read it like 6 times on my own. Ugh.
I gotta tell you, the movie isn't bad, but the movie's not what I saw in my head when I read that book.
Well, you and I watched the movie together when you first moved in the house.
We never finished it.
Yeah, no.
Watching it together, we never finished it.
Because I had to go home or something.
A fun thing to read and then watch right after is Because of Winn-Dixie.
No.
Wait, you guys didn't like that?
The book was all right, but the movie was terrible. You know what's a great book to read and then watch the movie for, Andrew? Percy Jackson.
I knew you were going to say it too.
I don't mean that. Do not watch Percy Jackson after reading the book. You will be disappointed. You will cry yourself to sleep and realize that nobody at Disney knows what they're doing, even though they're the ones that publish the books.
They better make the new one better.
They're making a show.
Honestly, watching the Percy Jackson movies, like, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to watch their explanation for his dyslexia and everything. Yeah. But even watching the movies, you're always just sitting there going, what am I missing? I'm missing something here, and I don't know what it is.
The first movie's not bad.
Entire half of the book.
The first movie's not bad. Like, it's not the best movie in the world, but they definitely did like a lot of cool stuff. But they time jumped between all the books in the second movie. Like, they just like
going to be their last one.
Yeah, they were supposed to make more.
I always hate when they do that.
Yeah,
when they take one movie and try and cram like 5 books into it. It's like, why? What are you saving here?
It's not the best example for that, but it's kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That's what they did for the last couple movies.
With Percy Jackson though, so a lot of like the details
that should have never been a movie. If anything, it should have been
the first 2 were good and they matched the books pretty well.
Yeah, but if anything, it should have been like a show, like Ned's Declassified.
That show.
One other problem with Diary of a Wimpy Kid is that he's literally a middle schooler pretty much the entire series. So obviously kids grow up.
No, they don't.
Not in TV shows.
No. What happened to you? You okay? You need an adult? Don't drink the drink of your girlfriend. I found this really weird. I found this really weird chick on TikTok that had a glow stick, like those glow sticks you can bend and make into necklaces.
Through her septum piercing.
And she goes, blah, 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 blah. I'm drinking a Yoo-hoo. And I'm like, Andrew, I found your girlfriend. And I showed him the video later, and he's like, what was that?
He's got the earrings. She's got the nose ring.
Andrew doesn't have
earrings. I will never have earrings. I will never have any piercings.
He's got the Tron earrings. But
do I though? Do I?
Now he can't hear us.
Now I can't hear you.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
So sorry. So sorry.
There was an
so sorry. Burn him. Drown him.
I don't know what's happening, but with the book thing again, like Harry Potter was probably one of the ones that did the most details in the movie.
Sorry, continue.
Harry Potter did the most details. I just remembered
something from the books that has to do with what I was just doing. So,
Harry Potter has the most details between movies and the books out of like a lot of series. Like Lord of the Rings did kind of the same thing too. They had a lot of details.
But there's still so much missing. Like I was just on 3, and here's some spoilers for you folks that never got around to reading the books and still want to, and so skip like the next few minutes. So in the movies, the Shrieking Shack.
Yeah.
And the whole underground tunnel and everything. Do you know why the Shrieking Shack was actually there?
No.
Well, in the books, they tell you why the Shrieking Shack was actually there. The Shrieking Shack was where Lupin went to transform as a child. And that's why the tunnel to get there and the only way in and out of the house was through a tunnel underneath the Whomping Willow. The only reason the Whomping Willow was there was because Dumbledore had it put in to guard the entrance for Lupin's transformations every month while he was going to school at the freaking school. Now I knew the rest of the Marauders became Animagus for him to comfort him in his transformation every month. What I didn't know was all the rest of this about the Shrieking Shack and how like it was literally the reason everybody thought it was haunted, nobody wanted to go near it, was because Lupin was in there every month when he was going to school, transforming into a werewolf and losing his freaking mind because he couldn't get out and go do werewolfy things. And like, there's just those details like that in Crookshanks. In the movies, the only thing you get is Crookshanks chasing Scabbers around a little bit. In the books, Crookshanks was like helping Sirius Black. Like, he was just this super intelligent cat. Like, he wasn't even an animagus or anything. He was just this super intelligent cat that figured out who Scabbers was or what Scabbers was. Like, it could tell that Scabbers wasn't just a rat. And ended up helping Sirius Black, tracking him down and everything. So, like, there's just these, like, yeah, there's a lot of things that are pretty close to what's going on. And then there's just a lot that's missing. And a lot of really good stuff that's missing. Like Peeves, but that's beside the point. We all know why they didn't put Peeves in there.
But they didn't
couldn't put
details
Peeves in there. Huh?
They didn't change details to make it work in their favor for their actors and stuff. As much.
Yes and no.
Well, like Percy Jackson, the whole point of the books was anyone that was the son or daughter of the big three, so Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, they would basically be, when they turned 16, the fate of the world would basically rely on them. And like in the books, Percy Jackson was like 12 or 13, so he had years before this prophecy was going to be fulfilled. And like Zeus's daughter would turn into a tree like years ago or something, and she woke up and she was already out of that age. So like, yeah, she woke up in the second book. In the movie, she woke up in the second movie, but they made the prophecy and changed it to be like 20 something years old because the actors were well above 16. They were all in their 20s. And like it ruined this whole thing. You're like, I get changing it for this stuff, but that's like the details you don't change from the book. Like there are 16-year-old actors.
That's a pretty big one, but it was also one that they really couldn't circumvent because they'd already established their actors.
Yeah. Just say the actors are 16. Don't tell us this.
That's the other thing I was going to bring up is how many times does a 25/30-year-old play a 12/16-year-old?
Yeah, I think the first movie to truly do like actual teens was 16 Candles, I think. Because they used to have like 20-year-old actors play younger actors. And now that was the first movie that the 16-year-old girl was actually 16 years old.
But there's also like so you want to talk about physical features? The only one in Harry Potter, or the only ones in Harry Potter that absolutely fit their book descriptions are pretty much Snape and the Weasleys.
Yeah.
Like there's distinct differences for everybody else, but that's part of a movie adaptation. Is you can't necessarily find the perfect person.
How many
like J.K. Rowling's approved and encouraged the canonical the movie canonical change of Harry's eye color because the colored contacts were irritating his eyes. Were irritating
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, Radcliffe's eyes. And so she wasn't going to torture this kid with these contacts. Instead, she allowed the script to change the one word from green to blue. So now, canonically, far as the movies are concerned, again, cinematic canon, Lily's eyes were blue, and so were Harry's.
Here's speaking of like character details. Here's a great example from Percy Jackson where they failed this. Annabelle, she's supposed to be the daughter of Athena, blonde hair and like grayish blue eyes. First movie, brown hair, brown eyes. Second movie,
I guess they got McGonagall pretty good. Continue.
Second movie, they changed her look to the brownish hair or gray hair and they put context into the second movie to make her look more like the book character. Like, that's when they were like, oh crap, we messed up. Fans didn't like it. Let's fix it. And it's like, no, now you've already
Too late.
You've already made Annabeth, and you've already done what you did with Annabeth. Reason. Like, Percy Jackson's the only series that, like, if I ever have a wife and she's cool with it, like, my children will be named either Annabeth or Percy. I think it's cool. They're different names, and they're kind of cool. Yeah. Maybe, like, middle names. Like, Percy Finger. That'd be kind of cool. Like, yeah, no, my kid can, like, go in water and drown.
What's up? You want to feel old?
No.
All the Hermiones are going to school now. They're probably in middle school at this point.
What?
Like all the kids whose parents named them Hermione and Harry and everything, they're in school now. Like, they're in school now, probably like finishing out middle school now. Maybe some of them in high school even.
Unless, like, some parents legally changed their kids' names as soon as the movies came out, and they might have been 15 already and been like, hey, you're Hermione now. I'm what?
No. they hand them the name change papers. You're a wizard, Harry. What? What is it? What is happening?
Who's Harry?
I'm confused.
You're now Harry.
You're Harry.
I'm who? I wonder how many people in England are named after Hermione.
Well, named after, I don't know, but there were probably several that were named that before.
You think people hate being named after books? Like, once they read the book and find out who they are. Like, my kid, if I name him Percy or Annabeth, hopefully they don't love each other like that, because in the books they date. But, like, they got to know how cool they are. Like, your name is Percy, kid. Short for Perseus. Like, you are Greek. Now go out there and be chiseled. You good, Andrew?
No. It was a fly.
You read the Percy Jackson books.
I did.
You liked them.
That was the last book series that I actually sat down away from games and read.
Yeah. Gave you the box. Did you read the second series?
I think it's because, like, you own them and I had to give them back to you, so I rushed through them.
You could have. You literally held on. Like, Jason's had those books for like a year now.
I mean, the fact that I live here now, and I could just
the ones we just discussed.
If I lose books, I'll just buy them again. The only thing with the Percy Jackson one is they're a little special because my mom got them for me.
I have given my favorite book, and it was a hardback too. It was like full-size hardback. I gave that as a birthday present to somebody. Like,
have you read the second series that it's kind of part of the Percy? Okay, I got those too.
I want to. Well, you don't have one of them. I think I told you this too. You were going to give me them, but, like, I don't want to start reading them if you don't have a certain book.
Well,
you don't have all of them.
I don't have, like, the last one. You have, like, 5 books to go through still. So by the time you finish those 5 books, you'll have the last one.
I also, it's hard to
read. These books
it's hard to read now for me.
Being a follow-up series, I'm almost refusing to watch or read Cursed Child.
Why?
They're supposed to be. They're talking about finally making that an actual Cinnamon movie.
I've heard really bad things.
Serial.
Here I am Cinnamon.
No, they're talking about making an actual cinematic version instead of just a play.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it other than Harry's kid. That's all I know.
I've heard very bad things.
So I'm gonna be honest, like 100%. I think I vaguely remember reading Prisoner of Azkaban's book.
It's 3.
That's the only one I've read the first, like, chapter in.
Why would you read that one first?
Because I didn't know the order. I was a kid and I saw it in the library at school and picked it up and was like, cool.
They have numbers.
Literally on the side.
They have numbers on.
It might have been Chamber of Secrets. I don't know, but Chamber of Secrets.
Still 2.
Okay, I don't know which one it was. This was like 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade.
Either the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone was the first one.
Sorcerer's Stone. I read that one. Dude, I don't remember the order. Like, I've seen the movies on ABC Family when they do their marathons for the weekend.
Order is like number 5.
Order of the Phoenix.
I've seen them.
Then
The
you got
movies.
Goblet of Fire on 4.
I've seen the movies a billion times, but I think we should do a marathon.
Deathly Hallows being 7.
Our own marathon, not an ABC Family marathon. Where
I
they
have
cut it
all.
up. I know you do.
Dude, that's a series I would rewatch any day.
I want to rewatch Tenet again, dude.
Those are some of my.
Jason, have you watched the movie Tenet yet by Christopher Nolan? It's got Robert Pattinson from Twilight in it too, but it's not like he's not actually a bad actor in it.
No,
dude. Oh my gosh, I have to say I wrote a script last night for a video based off this because I was so excited after watching it.
We're done finishing. I'm like half dead, falling asleep.
You fell asleep at one point.
He comes in the door saying, "Hey, I need you to make a song for me."
Because the whole point of the movie is like going forward and backwards, essentially, like time travel. But I made a script called Forward and Backward, and it has to do with like the scripts I like to write, where it's about like mental issues and stuff. So like I wrote a script for it, and I wrote out scenes for it, and was like, "Yo, dog, I want to make this." I go, "Can you make a song for me that works both playing?"
Yo, dog.
It's like, "Can you make a song for me that works both backwards and forwards?"
When I first heard that, I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Slinky, but a yo-yo.
No, so like if you played the song forwards, you can play the song backwards as well.
Look, we're not a secret record, okay? You can't just play me back.
No. Like the notes and everything. So let's say you do like a fade effect that goes into the note. You would just basically duplicate the note and flip it. This way, when it goes in and out.
You're talking about like months of work.
I know, and I have months of work to do for the recording process of it and editing it because I'm making this. This is my. There was a show on Netflix called Dark, and that was where I made that cool like intro effect I did, where it was like 4 different screens.
Takes time.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
But I'm mixing.
It's gonna take you time to.
I'm mixing these two ideas.
I've never heard anyone say make this inside and out.
I'm mixing two ideas, and these. I'm excited about this. And it's going to go on Self-Annihilation. And if you want to watch it down below, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. There's one video on that channel. It's about depression. So, but this one is like, the whole idea is, it could be cool, Jason. You'll like this. You'll probably get behind it too. Is like, a lot of the scenes are going to be recorded forward, but I'm going to, rewind them at the same speed as them going forward. So basically just flipping it. And like, so like, let's say the dude, it talks about something about like you go outside and you think about it and stuff like this and that, and it has him smoking a cigarette outside. The reverse of it would be the cigarette growing back and the smoke being sucked in and stuff. So like, it would be just a lot of flipped scenes. And the very end of it, I want it to be where like he it always goes back to it, but he's going to be putting a knife or a blade on the side of the tub. And then it's going to be in the reverse. It's going to be him putting the blade back in a package, getting in the car as if he just bought the pack of blades. But then it's going to be, that's where it flips. Like at the very end of it, he's going to look down. You could tell like in reverse. And then the very last second of it is going to be him looking up at the mirror again, as if like the decision's still being made or whatever. It's kind of cool. I played it out in my mind. It's not really written down fully, but it's like, whoa, I have this idea that I want to do. And all of it is about going forward and backwards. Every time you take 5 steps forwards, a part of you feels like you're taking 5 steps backwards. So I told him, I'm like, I haven't been this excited to write something like this in a while. I like critical thinking things.
You also never told me any of that. So I'm going to need a concept first.
I had to write this down last night. What, Jason? Sorry.
I said you also apparently like the phrase critical thinking and using it improperly.
Exactly, because I critically thought about it.
This is the second podcast in which you have used the term critical thinking improperly.
I critically thought about it though, so
that was a good course in high school.
You had a class on it?
Anyway, we're running out of time.
No, we're not.
I don't know.
But no, Tenet's a great movie.
Batch. I want to get to Bad Batch.
Tenet is a great movie. And like I was like last night
holding that up, reading it like it was Tenet is a great movie.
He gave me the
definitely did not pay us to say how great this movie is.
He gave me the digital
movie
code for it.
Is a 10 out of 10. I think it is a really good movie.
I texted Andrew because so we watched it with Manny and we told him before we watched it, do not ask us questions, but we had to pause the movie at some point. Well,
that was also because we saw a roach.
No, we paused it after the roach.
I can just imagine everybody jumping up on the couch and squealing.
Dude, we gave Amanda the broom, said deal with it. We're both by the back door.
I was gonna kill it, but if he broke your TV,
God, did
he has
you
the money
really let Manny be the manliest person in the room?
No, he was trying to run too. He was running more than I was. I saw it, got up and picked up the broom, and was like, you know what?
Dude, I saw it flying away. Absolutely not.
He doesn't even deal with flies, like little like regular flies that fly around garbage and stuff. He freaks out about. I'll hear smacks. Yeah, I've heard smacks through your mic. You just do this when one flies, and you're like, dude, calm down. It's not gonna hurt you.
It's a fly.
'Tis flies around.
What was the no-fly zone?
You remember the moth on the TV that we paused a movie for?
Yeah. He thought it was part of
Yeah.
You thought it was what?
He thought it was part of the screen. Or I did. One of us did.
I thought I did. I saw it and didn't care because they fly on my screen half the time, and I just go, it'll fly away.
That's what it was. Well, I think you knew it was on a screen. I think we both knew, and then you're like, just leave it. I'm like, no, dude, it's bothering me.
But with Tenet, he was saying that like it's a very confusing movie, and he like, I texted him at one point. I was like, when does it get confusing? Because I was being dead serious. Like I didn't want to say it to be cool. I didn't say it to be like think myself like this or that. Like no, like it was actually. I guessed a lot of things before they happened. And the fact that I figured out that the dude at the end of it was actually the kid of the chick, even though it wasn't confirmed in the movie, but confirmed by Christopher Nolan after the fact. I was like,
thanks for spoiling the movie.
No, it's not spoiling. It's just side notes of like figuring stuff out, like time frames and stuff. Like I want you to watch the movie. Like I want to watch it with you because it was so good.
Watch the movie.
Watch the movies.
Is that G Fuel?
Movies.
Not sponsored.
Well, we're not sponsored by G Fuel, but I'm not saying names, but I did tell him we might shout him out. We are sponsored by someone officially now. Not really, but he helped us out with a couple games that we have for the channel. So
we were sponsored by a friend of a friend's uncle.
About?
Yeah, we're
a friend of a friend's uncle. That's not really a sponsor.
Well, he's like
get ready for some stupid going on because we just bought Raft and Golf It.
Which Golf It comes out later today when this video is out. Yeah, Raft, Golf It, and then like it's we have a sponsor. He jokingly called himself a sponsor. Yeah, we do. Someone gave us money.
Somebody gave us money specifically for like that it fits all the criteria of sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and I'm gonna put includes paid promotion in it. At the top of this video, it's gonna say includes paid promotion.
Hey, he's not a company.
Yeah, he is.
Have to be a company.
I don't want to say his name because it sounds like a company, but no, but he's dude.
What are these parameters you put on things
for sponsors?
He's not a company. He doesn't have to be a company to be a sponsor.
I sponsor you, Andrew.
No,
with Adobe. I pay for Adobe. Therefore, I sponsor.
That's helping me. That's not really.
No, I sponsor you, fam. When you okay.
The addition of fam. No, I sponsor you, fam.
When you tie it to a church, you kind of, in that sense, too, are a sponsor of that church.
Yeah.
Anytime money's given to anything, you're sponsoring that. Like if I paid it forward for a person behind me at McDonald's, I just sponsored that family.
I don't get.
They
money
owe me their life now.
I don't get money.
A big chicken for your soul.
Did you hear any of that, Andrew, or no?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I said if I pay for someone's meal at McDonald's that's behind me, I sponsored that family. They now owe me their lives. We're not giving the person our lives though, just content.
No.
Which also, by the way, found out who commented on that Mario video last week that said like it took you 20 minutes, 12 episodes long to get 30 stars. It was AJ from church.
What? Wait, was it?
Yeah, he was just trolling. Because I came to church and I started talking about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, that was me." I was like, "Seriously?" I was so butthurt about
unsub.
That. Yeah. He goes, "I didn't actually unsub." And then he commented on today's video with a nice comment. So saying you should have played the game with the weird Joy-Con at the bottom. I'm like, yeah, that's what people keep telling me. But you want to talk about Bad Batch?
I miss the N64 controllers though. Like they were so stupid, but they were so great.
He commented having like a rumble pack and a save pack under that.
He commented that controller, the
you got
way
a rumble
it was
pack,
made,
a save pack, a Game Shark. You just got like 4 things stacked on each other, sticking out of the back of the controller.
The design of that controller was apparently made right before the box is shipped out by whatever his name is. That's what AJ just commented on the Mario video for. He goes, yeah, I heard that they made these controllers right when they produced the consoles. And I'm like, what? That's weird. Like a last minute design. Hey, let's put together all the ideas we had and make just this real quick because we don't know how to settle.
Hey, you know that Star Fox game that we're selling with the spaceships? Yeah, I want that to be the controller. Can we make that the controller? No. Like backwards. Can we like turn it up? Yeah, there you go.
But you wanted to talk about Bad Batch.
Yes, I want to talk about Bad Batch.
So let's talk about Bad Batch. Kevin's not here, so we can talk about
there's only 2 episodes out so far.
Yeah. People are upset with the last episode.
Why?
Because of the whole making what's his name the father figure. There being no like actual explanation for why he's the father figure, even though it's in the first episode when they come back for her.
Well, he's the leader.
Like kind of skipped.
Huh?
They're saying it kind of skipped story into like him being an immediate father figure, into like leading it.
Yeah.
More.
Well, yeah. There's more story that could have been done. It does kind of feel like there could have been another episode in between where they went and did something and some danger was presented, but also it's not poor pacing. Like they escape, the first thing they do is go to find their guy. Like there were no stops along the way. There was no reason for them to stop. They didn't have any big mechanical issues. Like there was no there was no plot device to tear them away from their path.
No.
And like, yeah, of course he's worried about this kid. He doesn't need extra reason to worry about this kid. He's a soldier. He doesn't know what the heck he's doing.
Yeah.
And like the only reason he's become the father figure is because the kid decided he was.
Well,
like he was like, I can't do this. I'm not a father figure. I don't know what I'm doing. That guy's a father figure. Here, take the kid.
The other thing too,
and then the kid left. The kid's like, no, you know what? I'm gonna run into gunfire and go back.
The big thing is the guy that's I forget his name. I'm stupid. The one that's like the leader of the Bad Batch. I forget his name.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Or Rambo.
He's the leader. So like if you like people that are watching it saying that there's no reason for him to be like the father figure, he's the leader of the group.
He's the father figure for all of them.
Yeah. Like he's the father figure for Crash.
I was going to say he's what's the big guy's name?
Pretty sure I thought it was Crash, but
no.
I don't remember his.
All we call him Michelangelo.
Yeah, when I first saw it, because I never saw pretty much anything in Clone Wars. I've watched like 12 episodes of the first season, so like I don't even know anything about the Bad Batch going into this. So I first saw them, and I'm like, that's the TMNT
with Echo, and we call him Casey. Casey Jones is Echo, but huh?
I said Echo, so I code back.
Oh. Really?
Let's make an Echo right now.
No,
3 of us.
I'm good. Jason did that. I can make an Echo, but I don't want to get in trouble because Manny's at work.
Echo.
Jason did that in Minecraft last week in Lord of the Rings. He like spun in a circle in the cave and was like, "How are you? You?" And then like he was like, "I asked you first." I'm just like, no, that's stupid. But Bad Batch, I told Jason too that kid, that Padawan was the same guy from Rebels, the Cadence.
Apparently
like 35 years old.
Yeah, the voice actor was 35, but the kid was 12.
Wrecker. They call him Wrecker.
Yeah, Wrecker.
Close enough.
But he's like like Hunter's already Wrecker's father figure.
He's got a snuggly buggly.
Hunter's the only one that Wrecker really listens to. The rest of it, Hunter's just like, or Wrecker's just. Like,
you like my bunny rabbit? Is that everything?
And of course, Crosshair's the rebellious child.
No, Crosshair's
I can't say
brainwashed
much. I'm just now meeting the Bad Batch.
You met them? I haven't even done that.
Oh my god!
Did you get their autographs? What'd you get them to sign?
Did you give them?
Should have told me. You should have told me you were going. I could have got Record to sign my bunny.
Did you give them? Did you give them a dead?
He signed
Jedi?
my Tenet DVD.
I don't know their name's Tenet. Did you give him a dead Jedi to sign?
Hold on, let me call Anakin.
He's not dead yet. He will at some point.
Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Hey,
but no, the kid,
yeah.
the kid Jedi, like not even knowing who he was, not realizing what was going on. Just he walked on and spoke, and I almost threw my freaking computer. I'm like, that is a 45-year-old man. That is not a 12-year-old child.
That's the conversation we had when we watched it. I was like, is that a kid okay? Does he have a frog in his voice?
Like, he went to puberty at 8.
At 6.
It's like, good God, I know he's a Jedi, but there's no reason for any of this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's some continuity you're trying to build here, but that is a 45-year-old man. Like, that is not a 12-year-old child.
Can be if you want. Just gotta believe it. Be like, he's 12.
I think we're done.
He could also do a mind trick and be like, I'm 12. Well, there's one thing I wanted to talk about too, real quick.
He's just constantly using the Force to convince everybody that he's a 12-year-old child.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to stay at Padawan the rest of my life. No responsibilities. I'm 12.
Bench warmers.
I'm 12. The Bad Batch is on their way. I'm 12.
Bench warmers. The crayon note with the money in it.
But one more show that's more recent to talk about real quick, just as a if you want to watch it kind of thing. It's kind of cool. Called, I didn't think it'd be good, but it's called Jupiter's Legacy. It's on Netflix.
I've been seeing the
it looks cheesy
promos.
It looks cheesy, but it's not. It's actually really well filmed. The CGI is a little bad. It could be better. Like the lighting on the CGI is a little too bright and it kind of takes away from the real factor. But other than that, like the story behind it, ooh, I didn't want to watch it. I was like, this show looks too cheesy for me. It looks like a kid's thing, but it turns into the boys.
I literally couldn't figure out what they were going for looking at the promos. Like,
there's so much story in it though. Like they do a lot of like flipping back and forth between like how the guys or how the main people got their powers and then their kids and stuff. And then they have like like today's timeline where the kids have their powers, their kids have the powers too. And stuff, and it's like it's kind of cool how they do it. And it starts talking about
spy kids.
Starts talking about world problems and like how like villains have changed the game, kind of like Invincible and The Boys, where like villains have changed the game so much that now heroes, if they take a life, it's acceptable on social media and stuff. So it's kind of cool. Like it covers a lot of cool topics, and it's really well done story. It has a lot of big actors too.
It just kind of looks to me. Like I look at it and I haven't even watched Invincibles, but I just see that it looks like Invincibles meets Krypton meets what was Sky High. That's what it was called. Like that's what I see. I just see.
I would say it's more like The Boys mixed with Sky High and Invincible. Cause like, but it's pretty. Like I would say, I would definitely recommend watching it. I judged it and like I was like, this looks
But
bad.
you get where I'm coming from. Where I see Sky High, right? I'm like that's a poor rendition of the Commander. If I'm not mistaken, that is the Commander's father. That is what that is.
If I'm not mistaken, the main character is actually the same son, like the kid from Sky High.
Is it? Hold on.
It might not be him, but it looks like him. He gives off that facial feature vibe, so I get confused every time. I don't think it is, but it might be. But yeah, no, I judged it. I took a day off today because I pulled my hamstring at your house or something, and I went to watch the show, and yeah, did you watch it? I'm like 4 episodes in.
No, it's the hair. It's the hair that does it.
Well, yeah,
And I don't think it's the same kid.
it might be. I don't know,
No, it's not.
but highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it or want to.
Oh, it is. It is apparently based on a comic.
Yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. It's based off a graphic novel, I think, rather than just like a series. I might be mistaken though, but I just wanted to talk about the show.
Walking Dead was a graphic novel.
Yeah. So was Invincible.
Invincible was a graphic novel.
Yeah. So was Watchmen.
Marvel was a graphic novel.
Who?
Marvel.
Yeah, they're
Marvel?
very quickly oversaturating the market with this crap.
Which Marvel?
Marvel.
What?
Marvel created was graphic novel stuff. Comics and graphic novels.
Oh, yeah, but they're mostly comics. DC
There is a difference between
there
is a difference between comics and graphic novels.
DC started the graphic novel stuff though with Watchmen. Watchmen is like one of the first graphic novels they did because it's the thicker, like 100-something pages rather than 20.
A comic. Yeah, it's the difference between a magazine and a book.
Marvel has some, but they're like mostly just like, hey, we wanted to give you
graphic novel, just a book with pictures. It's just a picture book.
Marvel's graphic novels are like a mixture of
books.
a whole, like, let's say like Spider-Man's whole, like if they do a whole new issue.
I have and one of these totes, I have the New Avengers. Ones came out like late 2010s or early 2010s. I mean, yeah, I have some of those in there. They're like this big.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
They're not that good.
I have the New 52 comics from DC when they redid all the superheroes and stuff, and they're considered the best comics, but they're also considered the worst comics. And I have the first issues for all the heroes, so I was like, yeah.
Which ones?
New 52.
Oh, yeah, I've heard bad things.
I've heard good and bad. What they did was they took all the canon from every single comic book before and then made it into one hero, like one Batman, one Superman, rather than it being like, hey, we have like 6 different issues of Batman. We're like, no, this is just Batman. And like some of his abilities are from other multiverses though. So like it might not be the canon Batman from the original comics anymore. It's a bad explanation. So like a Superman in the main comics always had laser eyes, but maybe one of the comics he had blue eyes, and that's what they like, blue lasers, which should be hotter. They would make it where he has blue lasers in the New 52 because they like, hey, it's hotter.
It's not how lasers work.
But I think this is a good place to wrap up.
Alexa, whisper mode.
View.
From now on, when you whisper,
Can't hear her.
I can hear.
She's whispering too quietly.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this ASMR portion,
She whispered to me.
If you like this ASMR portion of the podcast,
How are you?
talk to you guys next week.
More.
You can comment,
For
subscribe,
believing.
hit that bell.
I feel like we're ending abruptly, but that's normal for us.
Not really. No, not really. It's been an hour.
What? We usually just run through everything and then we hit a wall and go, okay, it's time to leave. Bye.
That's where this is. This is the wall.
We're at the wall. We just ran into the wall, sat down next to it, and started whispering to each other.
Do you guys like watching ASMR every now and then?
No.
I used to fall asleep to it.
You have
It's
problems.
a little weird.
I like ASMR. It makes me feel good.
We should buy ASMR mics.
I want the ears.
Are we ending?
I want the ears, Jason.
Are we ending?
Yeah, well, goodbye, guys. us some ears.
Clear or not.
Our sponsor should buy us some ears.
I'm trying to make people spend money on us.
We appreciate it, but no thank you.
We love you. I'll make an ASMR channel.
Thank you.
We got redirected.
No, thank
We got redirected plus.
Thank you.
We got
And the podcast.
We got redirected shorts.
Would you end the video already?